Good evening and welcome to the CDR round 8. Takes us to the Sochi Autodrome. I believe it's round 8. If I can just take a mirror back on the calendar. I always get a bit confused with the round numbers actually. But either way, we are at the Sochi Autodrome in Russia. Well, I couldn't have picked a better time to be raced on this track. Bearing in mind Formula 1 is racing there this weekend. And looking at the calendar, it is round 8. So yeah, I called it first time. So this is where we are at for today. If you have joined us on the stream, we do welcome you. Feel free to get involved in the live chat. Make sure you like and subscribe. And so qualifying will commence. There'll be a 3-part qualifying, Q1, Q2 and Q3. We'll lose the slowest 5 at the end of Q1. And the same for Q2. And then the top 10 go through to Q3. So just a few names to mention in terms of absentees for today. Both Mercedes drivers are replaced by Sociopar, who stood in for one of the drivers at Abu Dhabi. Paranoid fills in the other Mercedes. At McLaren, Grimjaw Jagger is not around, so the Warrior is in place of him. There's a debut actually for the Stig in the Alpine. He's a full-time driver, as Avalanche will be serving his quali ban. So we know that he won't be taking part in Q2 or in qualifying at all. So just looking to see who else is opted out for tonight. I believe everyone else is here. Calvin Racing as well as in the Alpine, so both drivers confirmed at Alpine for the remainder of the season, it seems. So who will join Avalanche on the sidelines at the end of this Q1 session? It is quite a long lap actually, is the Sochi Autodrome. We are expecting lap times to be over 90 seconds long. So Jai Hu, he'll be looking to get out of Q1. So looking at the drivers' standings, I don't think they were updated for last week because of I think we had connections issues in last week's events in Abu Dhabi, hence why the standings have not been updated. So a vote had been put out earlier in the week between the drivers that the Abu Dhabi race will be rerun at some point between now and the end of the season if they can find a date or solution that suits all, but this may not be possible. We'll try, the CDR will try their best to make it work. So basically the Abu Dhabi race did not happen as it did, so we are in fact on round 7 of the championship as Jai Hu comes towards the second sector, and the rain has started to come down now on the track, so all the drivers on track need to get out there as soon as they can. I think all drivers apart from Avalanche, who's stuck in the pits anyway because of his quali ban, need to get a lap on as soon as they can. So Jai Who's going to cross over the line first to post the first time. 1 minute 33.4. What about the others behind? The Stig is next. It goes faster than him. And MDG has invalidated his lap time, so he's got his work cut out already. Ruben up to 4th with a 34.2. He's been displaced by Yakanagel though, and Scotty. Mano goes second with 33.0. MDG starting another lap. We'll go on board with Noodles for now, whilst we are watching more and more times coming in. And Wezo's crashed out on the pit straight, so Wezo not going any further in this qualifying session. Yeah, he's crashed out on the pit straight, so he's lost it on the slippery curbs and has got into the barrier. So Noodles goes 8th fastest. As Jay Hartnell comes towards the final turn, and he'll at least get a lap on the board, but it's not going to be very quick. The Warrior goes 11th behind him. The Bruges goes 12th with a 35.3. So Jay Hartnell's been pushed into the drop zone at the moment. And Wezo's tight. Oh, and MGG's front wing's gone. So goes from bad to worse for him. He may decide to go on and complete the lap so he can just get a time on the board, but no, he needs to come back into the pits. And that could be his qualifying session over. Now, Hamster's qualifying session could be over before it even started, to be honest with you. You can see the raindrops coming down onto the track. So the track will be becoming more and more slippery by the second. So your bottom 5 are Sociopath, Jay Hartnell, MDG, Avalanche and Hamster. Along with Wezo, who's not going to be taking any further part now because he's crashed out on circuit. Oh, and Ruin didn't see Hamster in time. He should have seen him there. So one of the stewards were having words with Ruin after that. He should have seen that Hamster was coming through. Now, I just hope the Alpine ahead stays out of his way. He does so. And Hamster coming back into the pits. And I think that's his qualifying session over, to be honest with you. He wasn't going to go any quicker than those ahead of him. So I think we've got our bottom 5 sorted. So Jay Hartnell comes back into the pits. Albeit too quicker there. He should have been going there a lot slower. And Yakanagel has retired from the session, so I expect a lot of the drivers to be doing the same. The Warrior not slowing down enough. With the track going as greasy as it is, or getting as greasy as it is. Sociopath, the only driver on track right now. So he'll be making his way into the pit lane. Doesn't look as though the track is going to improve between now and the end of Q1. So the bottom 5 we have then are Sociopath, Jay Hartnell, MDG, Avalanche and Hamster. And Wezo is also out of qualifying because he crashed out on track. So 14 drivers are going to be going through to Q2. We may see some drivers get some running on the intermediates, but I can't see why they would do that. No point wasting a set of intermediates. Although drivers like Jay Hartnell may decide to give the intermediates a go to give himself a chance of making it out. MDG is doing just that. It's going a bit too quick actually out of the pits. So he's currently 18th with no lap time on the board. He may try and get in front of Jay Hartnell. So Ruin opts out. So 9.5 minutes to go. So it could well be a battle between MDG and Hamster to see who lines up 18th on the grid for the race. So MDG coming through the last couple of turns, and he will start a flying lap and hope for the best, really. And someone else is coming out onto the track. It's Hamster in the Ferrari coming out now. And the Warrior also not heading out back on track. Now, I don't know if the weather is staying around until the end of Q3. So MDG coming towards Sector 2. We know he's going to be a long way away from the pace of those on the dries. I think he's only going to really look good for around about a 1 minute 40 or 1 minute 41, because he's still got these slower corners to get through. And this is where you are in need of the downforce. So MDG approaching turn 17 and now 18, and this is going to be a lap time of 1 minute 43.3. Now what can Hamster do with the lap he's on now? He's into turn 1. It was a bit of a lock, but got the car turned in. So that mistake from MDG that saw his lap time invalidated has cost him. Now Hamster entering turn 10. Scotty decides he's not going back out on circuit, but the Stick is doing so. He fancies a bit of learning of the circuit. So Hamster, don't think this is going to be a quicker lap than MDG, but we'll see. Yeah, it's going to be slower. It'll be a 1 minute 44.3, and that's good enough to put him 19th. So at least he won't be starting last. So the Stick We'll be thinking of what we can learn on the track on these intermediates. And then gain some valuable knowledge and mileage of the track in these conditions. And through sweeping left-hander of turn 3. That time invalidated, so but he's going to carry on anyway and see what he can find throughout the course of this one, as long as he doesn't put it in the wall. Otherwise that'll be a real embarrassment. So Hamster's just slowed down actually. I think he's run out of fuel. The Stigger's coming round now. So he's coming back into the pits with Hamster. So both of them go back to the pits. And that will conclude Q1. So, yeah, that's just the way it is sometimes when the weather does intervene in quali. 6 drivers will be leaving the session, or out of qualifying: Wezzo, Sociopath, Jay Hartnell, MDG, Hamster and Avalanche. So it'll be an all Ferrari back row of the grid. You don't often hear that. So I wonder what Q2 is going to bring with the way things are going. You see more and more drivers retiring from the session now. You can see we're counting down, heading into the last minute or so. So just 2 drivers active at the moment. But when it does reach 0, when the countdown does reach 0, we'll go straight into Q2. So there we go, Q2 ends. And to confirm those who are out of qualifying, they are Wezzo, Sociopath, Jay Hartnell, MDG, Hamster and Avalanche. So the top 14 go through to Q2. We'll be back in a moment. Here we go then for Q2. Drivers making their way out onto the circuit. I think they're going to be rushing out as quickly as they were doing so in Q1 because the conditions are deteriorating more and more. And the more it does deteriorate, the more it gets to the point where wet tyres are needed, which won't be quicker than those on the intermediates. So they need to play it nicely here. They want to bin it in the barriers and waste a possible set of intermediates that they need for the race later. So we've got 6 drivers on the track so far, plus a few more that are heading out. There's an Alpine, a Red Bull, and the Mercedes joining. So make that 9. What about the rest of those stuck in the pits at the moment? Nothing as of yet. So we'll go back to Red Dog because he's ahead of the queue. So 9 out of the 14 drivers are on track now. You can see the rain is definitely getting harder and harder. So if there was a time to get a banker lap in, the time is now, surely. Yeah, we've got another car heading out on track. That'll be Bruges in the... Is it Bruges in the Williams or is it Jaihu? It's Jaihu, actually. Unless those are just waiting for a gap in the traffic, which is actually a risky thing to do. And you can see Matey Boy heading out on track now as Red Dog gets ready to start a flying lap in the AlphaTauri. So Red Dog cross over the line to begin a lap now. It looks as though that Bruges is heading out on track in the Williams. You can see all the standing water starting to appear. Red Dog's struggling to get that car turned into turn 4. Now, is Red Dog going to be able to post a quick enough time here? And I suppose everyone will be in a worse situation than he is because they're crossing over the line later than he is. The last time we came through, there wasn't as much standing water, but there is now, 2 minutes later. So Red Dog needs to get on with this here. Cannot afford to have a lap time of his invalidated. And Matey Boy has gone for a spin in the Haas, but has recovered. I hope he hasn't suffered any damage, because otherwise that's another body blow to his qualifying session. Getting caught out there, just want to be avoiding the curves, really. They may be useful in the dry, but in the wet it's a different matter. So Red Dog over the line for Aston Martin to post a 1:48.6. Who's going to be the next driver over the line? It's Mano who goes to the top with a 1:47.2. There's an Aston Martin spinning around. That's Ruben spinning his way over the line to second place. Six's lap has been invalidated, so he'll have to go again. And Calvin now going to the top with a 46.5. He's paranoid. 1:47.8. That puts him 4th. And now Jaihu, who's on a lap in the Williams. Yakanagel on track in the Alfa Romeo. You can see how hard the rain is coming down now on the track. Now Jaihu puts himself with a 1:47.1. That puts him second, so that's a good time. Matey Boy in the Haas. Entering turns 15 and 16. This is not going to be a good lap, I don't think, here from Matey Boy. I think he's going to end up being the slowest out of all those who have set times, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a 1:48.8. So the stake. Oh, someone's front wing's gone missing there. Who's that? That looks like a. It almost looks like a piece of Ferrari, but I don't think it actually is. It's Red Dog. He's lost his front wing. So that'll be him off into the pits. So the stake crossing over the line now. And it's a 1:46.8. Good enough to put him in P2. And Calvin going even faster than before. 1:46.5 for him. And Yakanagel is on the wet tyres at the moment. Now the Warrior and Ruin have posted lap times that are not quick enough. They're in the bottom 4 now. As Yakanagel approaches turn 12. There's no way he's going to set a faster time on the wet tyres in the intermediates, so he'll have to just stick on the full wets for the remainder of this session. No, he's going to go, I think, between Matey Boy and the Warrior in 11th here is Yakanagel. And he is so. But he may as well stay out there and see if he can find any time and burn off some fuel whilst he's at it. And the Warrior going quicker than before by sector 2. Matey Boy is also on a faster lap than before. He's currently 10th on a 1:48.8, but he's coming back into the pits actually. So what does the Warrior decide to do here? He's carrying on. So he needs to find at least 6 tenths to get out of the bottom 4 here, does the Warrior. But he doesn't quite do that. He remains 12th on a 1:49.1. Ruin's lap time, I think potentially is going to be good enough to put him into the top 10, but only just. So the Red Bull entering turn 17 and now 18. It's a good line actually, very good line in fact. It's a 1:48.1. That puts him 8th. So Yakanagel on the faster lap than before in the Alfa Romeo. Nearly 9 tenths up by sector 1. 1.7 seconds up from before by sector 2. So surely the drivers must take that as a reference and get some wet tyres on. They are the tyres to be on at this stage with all the standing water on the circuit. So Yakanagel entering turns 17 and 18 now. Over the line, and it's a 1:47.2. That puts him 4th. So good lap time. Very, very good from Yakanagel on the wet tyres. Ruin's on a faster lap also in the Red Bull, as is the Warrior on intermediates. So 9 tenths up by this stage of the lap. So he's... Oh dear, he's gone horribly offline there, has the Warrior. He won't be too pleased with that. And going too deep into 16 and 17. So if I was him, I'd get some wet tyres on. Otherwise, he's going to run out of time. But he's carrying on. I'm surprised at that. I think he should have come into the pits and get some wet tyres on. But he crosses over the line now, does the Warrior. It's a faster time than before, but he's lost a heap of time in the last sector and stays 13th. Ruin also going too deep. He needs to slow down through that. So Matey Boy back out on track on a set of intermediates. Surely the wet tyres are the ones to be on now. So Ruin does not improve on his lap. So he stays 9th. So how many more drivers are going to be seen coming back out on track now? And there's Red Dog who's already lost the front wing earlier on, is spun on wets. Careful, don't hit the barrier on the left-hand side. He's kept it going. Spun on the exit of turn 4. So the Warrior approaching turn 12, which is where the second sector is. He's nearly 6 tenths up from before by the stage of the lap. Can he get the car slowed down in time for here, though? He does. This is a good lap, this from the Warrior. Now this is really important, this, because he's low on fuel. He may decide to come in and get another set of intermediates on. Or does he carry on and complete this lap? He's carrying on. So entering the last turn here, the Warrior posts a 1:47.5, goes 7 fastest, so that pushes Ruben into the drop zone. Now, Ruin is on a lap that's invalidated, and Red Dog is not on a representative time. So we've got just over 3 minutes remaining. The bottom 4 are Ruben, Red Dog, Matey Boy, and Noodles. Noodles has just come back into the pits, actually, as has Matey Boy. Can they get round in time, though? So Red Dog going for another lap, then. The Warrior has backed out of this lap. Has his time of 1:47.5. Is that enough to get him into Q3? There's an inch in sector 2. That could just be a driver slowing down. I didn't see Red Dog's time through sector 1. We could only assume that it was relatively fast. But is it going to be fast enough? As Jaihu retires from the session. As does Ruben, who has crashed out, actually, on track. So Ruben goes no further in qualifying. He's wrecked an important set of intermediates for the race later, in case it is going to rain, but it may not do. So Ruben's out of qualifying, so that's 1 out of the 4 gone. Red Dog has improved by nearly 3 tenths by the stage of the lap, but he needs to find, at the very minimum, a couple of tenths more. There's an Aston Martin ahead of him, which is Mano, who's on an outlap, who should get out of the way here, to be honest with you. And he does so now. So Red Dog aiming for a place in Q3. He enters the last turn, and his lap time 1:47.9 gets him out of the drop zone and pushes Ruin into it. Now Matey Boy's just exited the pits on wets, but it's far too late for him now. He's out of qualifying. So 2 out of 4 confirmed. Now there's Ruin. Ooh, he's very much on a knife edge at the moment. Can he get over the line in time to do another lap? Here's Paranoid. He's about to complete a lap in the Mercedes on full wets. And it's a 1:47.6. 9th fastest. So improved by nearly a couple of tenths, but that's not a big margin gain there. And we'll look at the Stig next, because... Oh no, not the Stig. We'll go back to Scotty, who's just going through. On a better lap than before, nearly half a second up by sector 2. Matey Boy's retired on track against the rules, I'm afraid, so I'm pretty sure the stewards will be having words with him afterwards. 1:46.5 for Scotty. Now, unless Matey Boy has crashed out on circuit, he has done. Yeah, he's crashed out. So that could well explain it. So Ruin got over the line before the checker flag had fallen, so... Who is on faster laps at the moment now? Well, Calvin Racing's just... Well, Stig has just gone fastest of all on the intermediate, so 1:46.4 for him. Calvin has gone even faster than before. Mano's had a spin, so he's not improving. Bruges is on a really poor first sector. Ponoid is sort of touch and go with his lap. But this is what we need to look out for. Noodles is on a flying lap. He's not set a lap in Q2 yet. The rain is actually easing though, so the wet tyres may not be the best ones to be on. The Noodles is coming towards turn 15 now. Can he get the car slowed down in time though? He does so. There is a Williams in front of him that should stay out of the way. So I don't think Noodles is going to do it, you know. But we'll see. Over the line, a 1:46.47.9 is what he needs. He just gets out of it. So that pushes his teammate out. So Noodles on the brink of joining those in Q3, but Ruin is on a better time through sector 2, over 4/10 up from his previous best. Now, he needs to better a 1:47.6 to get into Q3. So Ruin in the Red Bull. Has he done enough? Takes it easy through 17 and 18. Very nicely done over the line. It's a 1:47.3. And Ruin gets through into Q3. And that pushes Noodles out of qualifying. Both AlphaTauris are out. So there we go. What a session actually of Q2 with a mixture of times on either the intermediates or the full wets. But those who are eliminated are Noodles, Red Dog, Ruben and Matey Boy. The top 10 go through to the shootout. We're back in a moment for that. So you can see pit lane activity busy as ever. Drivers determined to get out there first. You can see the Aston Martin of Mano and the Alpine of the Stig. How many cars are heading out there straight away? We know how much time you do end up losing by just doing an out lap, a flying lap and then an in lap. It's around about 6 minutes. So crucial that a lot of these drivers get out there as soon as they can. Now, are all 10 heading out there right now? Well, Calvin's just making his way out there. Who's stuck in the pits at the moment? It's one of the Williams who's in there. And that will be Bruges who's stuck in. So he's probably just going to wait until there's a gap in the traffic before he makes his move. I think Calvin has just got on track. So 9 out of the 10 are on track now. Well, the rain is still coming down on the track. These are intermediate conditions, I would say. We could get towards a dry track, although it looks quite far away from that right now. And looks so Bruges is heading out on track now. He needs to be careful though, he doesn't impede other drivers' laps. So the Sig is about to start a lap now in the Alpine, in Sochi. And now he'll be making his way towards, through the kink of 1, and then the first braking zone at turn 2. So brakes for turn 2, gets the car slowed down, keeps his car within the track limits, but only just there. Positions the car nicely down to third gear for 4. And looks like one of the McLarens is going slowly there. Can't quite tell who it is. It may be the Warrior who has dropped out. No, it's Scotty. Because Scotty's invalidated this time, so he'll have to go again. Once he decides to come back into the pits and get another set of intermediates on. We'll go back to the stick though. He's gone through turn 9. And 1 minute 12.2. Now, what times are we going to be seeing for those on the intermediates? Well, I think the fastest time on the intermediates in Q2 was a 1:46.0, which was set by Calvin. So that's the kind of figure that the Stig should be beating. This is a lot quicker lap than what we saw in Q2. So over the line comes the Stig. And it's a 1:43.9. Very, very good. And Mano beats that. 1:43.9, so he goes quicker by over half a tenth. Yakonoglu goes third with a 1:45.9 for him. Who's next over the line? It's the Warrior who's next. 1:44.9 puts him third. Ruin goes third with a 44.5. And Paranoid goes third as well with a 44.2. What about Jaihu? It's only a 1:45.0, puts him 6th. $1:43.9 for Calvin, puts him 3rd. So less than a 10 separating the top 3 so far. We'll go to Bruges next. Oh, he's gone for a spin there, look, and Bruges lost it. Got caught out on the curb. And that'll be him off into the pit lane for sure. Well, Scotty's staying out there on these intermediates to get his lap over and done with. I wonder if the Stig may be on a better lap than before. Unless he's decided, no, I need to come into the pits and get another set of intermediates on and some fuel. You can see his fuel gauge is rather low. No, he's actually carrying on to complete this lap. So can the Stig beat Mano and get back pole position here? A 1:43.9 is to beat, and he beats that most certainly by 8 tenths. So the Stig goes back to provisional pole position. What about Yakonoglu in the Alfa Romeo? He goes up to P5 with his time, 1:44.2 for him. The Warrior next up for McLaren, 1:44.6. He betters that, puts him 7th. And a better time from Ruin puts him on the front row, 1:43.8 for him. Jaihu is next in the Williams, and it's going to be a 1 minute 44.5, only good enough for P7. And Scotty, posting his first time, puts him up to 5th. That was quite a fast couple of laps there for the drivers. I wonder if some may be deciding to remain out there in case the conditions do improve. There is still rain coming down, so it looks like the intermediates are going to be the tyres to be on for the remainder of this session. The Stig has backed off, but Ruin is improving by some way through, well, I say by some way through sector 1, it's nearly a 10th, but he's just made a mistake through turn 5 and he's exceeded track limits, so we may as well come away from him. Jaihu going quicker than before through sector 1 in the Williams. Nearly losing it on the exit of 5, but gathered it all up. The Warriors' time has been invalidated, so we'll go back to Jaihu, who gets out of the way of a McLaren of Scotty. So some drivers are in the pits right now, others are not. They're remaining out there, I think, for the remainder of this session. So Scotty, can he get his McLaren into Q2? into, well, I say into Q3. Can he get his McLaren onto pole position? Remember, he's the championship leader coming into this round. No points were dished out last week at Abu Dhabi due to the connection issues we had towards the closing stages of the event. I think Scotty may decide to come back into the pits, but we'll see. Yes, he is, yeah. You can tell because he's coming straight in. Jai Hill will be coming back in as well. Ruin remains out there, though. Less than 4 minutes to go now. Who else is on track? Bruges is out on circuit. He's got time to do 2 flying laps. So Ruin heading towards Sector 1. Is he better in his time? He is, by nearly 3/10. So it's a good start there for Ruin. But I would expect those on the fresher intermediates to go faster than they did so beforehand. Ruin keeps it all together through 7. And now he's got a couple of left-handers of 8 and 9. Rides the curves there, nothing too abrupt. He's exceeded track limits. Ruin may as well back out of it. So Bruges is the next one to start a flying lap now in the Williams. He's yet to post a lap in Q3. So he brakes for turn 1. Now those stuck in the pits there will be thinking of wanting to get out there now. They want to be leaving the pits with 2 minutes remaining max. Well, at the minimum, I should say. So Bruges heading through turn 7 there. We'll ride on board of him. Does he get the car turned into 8 and 9? Well, yes, he does. He uses all the track. And he avoids exceeding track limits through turn 10, which is good news. So one of the Alpines has spun round. That would be Calvin, actually, who's just had a bit of a moment there. I hope he hasn't got damage to his car, though. It doesn't look as though he has. Go back to Bruges, though. 1:13.0 by Sector 2. Van's wide, though, through 13. And now he's coming towards the chicane of 15 and 16. Bruges will have another go, even if this lap isn't the best one he produces. DRS is now enabled, so that has come at a good time for Bruges, actually. Now, I don't suppose anyone is on dry tyres, are they? No, everyone's on the intermediates. So Bruges will start a flying lap with the DRS wide open, with a minute remaining. Now, it's come at a convenient time for those who've just got out of the pit lane. So Bruges coming towards turn 4. Four tenths up from before. That was obviously helped by the use of the DRS. Through 7. Now, who's going to be crossing over the line? Well, Mano, his lap has been invalidated. I don't think he's got time to get round, you know. Or he may well do, actually. But it's going to be very, very nip and tuck between where he is and the checkered flag. 10 seconds to go. Now, did Mano get over the line in time? I think he just did. Only placed with his 1:43.8. So that's the highest he'll end up on the grid. 1:44.5 for Bruges. Yakanagel only 5th for 44.0. And it looks like the Warrior has had a spin. Yeah, he's reversing there, look. Not a very clever way, to be quite honest with you, spinning round like that. So Scotty's on a massive improvement here. This could put him on pole. Through the last turn now. Over the line. 1:42.8. And he does go to pole position. But what about the Stig? He's coming through now. Jaihu is crossing over the line, it seems. Goes 7th fastest with 1:44.0. But Stig goes to pole position with a 1:42.8. What about the others? Ruin's not on the lap. Neither is Mano. And Paranoid has just spun round. So the Stig is on pole position on debut. Excellent stuff from him. Sotti, the championship leader, will line up on the front row next to him with Ruin and Calvin on row 2. Unbelievable qualifying session that was. So the Stig will be very, very happy with that. Really, really good effort. And looks like Mano is struggling to get round in the Aston Martin. I think his front wing's gone, you know. So here is your top 10 for the race. The Stig is on pole with Scotty alongside. Then it's Ruin and Calvin next to each other on row 2. And we've got Mano and Yakanagel on the 3rd row with Jaihu and Paranoid next. Bruges and the Warrior making up your top 10. We've had a brilliant qualifying. Let's hope that the race can live up to it. Who will win the Russian Grand Prix in C1 in the CDR? Find out in a few minutes' time. And so the sun is shining on the Sochi Autodrome. And with the fact that we had wet weather running through Q2, everyone can start on whatever tyres they like to. I would expect most of which to go onto the soft compound for the start, because you need all the grip to get in front. And even though it's a good track for overtaking, being stuck behind traffic is not where you want to be in. So we'll go on to the formation lap and we'll find out who is starting on whatever compound. So those on the softs are the Stig, Scotty, Calvin, Mano, Paranoid, Bruges, Red Dog and Ruben. All the others are on the mediums. So mixture of strategies. Can the Stig convert pole into the win? On his debut as well, and he's shown some really strong pace all the way through. Look to see what MDG can do from the back in 18th. The championship's wide open at the moment still. There are plenty more races to come. In regards to the calendar, after Sochi, round 9 is a TBC at the moment. It could be Abu Dhabi. We'll find out soon enough. Round 10, the week after that, will be... If I can see it on screen at the moment, I'm trying to see via the calendar as to where round 10 will be for the CDR. It'll be in Japan. Round 11 is expected to be one of the TBCs. It could be Portimao, it could be Imola. Round 12 is Austin. Round 13 will be in Mexico City. The penultimate round is to be in Brazil, and the final race is a TBC as well. So 15 rounds it'll be for the CDR, the championship concluding on the 12th to the 14th of November. Well, Scotty goes into the round with a 5-point lead at the top of the drivers' standings. But we know a lot can change. As you can see, all 20 drivers on the grid. Hopefully they will all behave themselves throughout. There's Avalanche making up the rear of the field. So the stick on pole position, Scotty alongside. And then you've got Ruin and Calvin next behind. Watch out for Ruin as he could get that all-important toe before they get to the first braking zone of turn 2. Here we go then. The 5 red lights appear in front of the drivers. Who will get into the first braking zone of turn 2 first? It's lights out and away we go. The stick gets off fine, but Scotty gets off even better, but he's going to get into the toe of the Alpine as they go through turn 1. And the stick is still in front for now. There's a collision at the back. 2 cars seem to have gone. One of the McLarens has gone. It's the Warrior who's come together with the Red Bull of Wezo. So the Warrior's out of the race already. Plenty of drivers using the runoff area of turn 2. And the Warrior is out of the race as Stig remains in the league, and Calvin getting ahead of Scotty. So Calvin into second place. Alpine 1 and 2 so far. Then it's Scotty and Mano next behind, with Jaihu, Ruin, Paranoid, Ruben, Bruges and Noodles making up the top 10. Mano going to the inside of Scotty into turn 5, and he gets himself up into the top 3, and Jaihu taking advantage. So Scotty not having the best of starts. He gets hit from behind by the Red Bull of Ruin. So Ruben's front wing is damaged. I don't know if Scotty's got damage to his rear wing. He may well have done. We'll find out as the race progresses. As you can see, there's Paranoid passing the Red Bull, so it looks like Ruin will be going into the pits at the end of lap 1 for a front wing replacement. So Ruben passing the Red Bull now, as they all go through turn 13. Jaihu looking to pounce there. I wonder how many drivers will be pitted in at the end of the first lap. There's going to be quite a lot of activity at the moment. Sorry, Mercedes diving to the inside there of Scotty. Couldn't make this move stick, and someone has been involved in a collision. I don't know who it is. It's Noodles. It was dropped back. So there's going to be plenty of activity here. So both Red Bulls in trouble at the moment. I think Ruin's carried on. No, he's in the pits actually. So Ruin in the pits. Wesley will be doing likewise. And now we're watching Jaihu go side by side with Mano as they go into turn 2 here. And Jaihu, does he get up into third place? Yes, he does. So it leaves Mano enough room. And the Williams gets through into the top 3. So Wesley having to wait behind his teammate also. At least conserve some of his penalty for the collision with the Warrior. So there's your 2 leaders, both from the same team. Jaihu trying to hold off Mano. No DRS for the first 2 laps. And Wezo rejoins on a set of the medium compound tyres as we watch Mano get into the slipstream of the Williams, and he's going to go back ahead of him here. He is on the soft compound after all, so it's going to give him the extra grip at this stage. And he's through into third place again. Scotty behind. Oh no, that's a glitch, sorry. My apologies, there was a glitch involving Rubens, Aston Martin, but he's carried on anyway. As Sociopath goes to the inside of the Alfa Romeo of Jaka Nagel, and he makes the move stick right around the outside of 16. That was a brilliant overtake. And Mateby looking to get through on the Alfa Romeo as well. Can't quite do it. Hamster's made up good ground from the back of the grid, as has Avalanche. And now they cross the line to begin lap 3 now. Oh, and someone's in the wall there. Oh no, that's Justin Ruben again. I thought he spun into the barrier for a moment there, but there is another glitch. So again, apologies for that. But Scotty's passed Jaihu to go up into 4th position in the McLaren. Now, is anyone else making a move? Maybe around the outside of the connection. And it looks like Jaihu's out of the race. And I could do with an invite back into the lobby. This is not the first time it's happened. We had it at Monza a couple of weeks back. So yeah, if someone can send me an invite back into the lobby, that would be fantastic. So what you are seeing at the moment are not what you are meant to be seeing. There are still battles on track right now. So if you are just joined us and thinking, what on earth has just happened, we can only apologise. We are getting back into the lobby now, hopefully without any drama. So we're back in the action here on lap 4 of this race. Stig leading, Kelvin still in 2nd place, Mano 3rd, Jaihu 4th, Paranoid, Bruges and Ruben in 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th place. MDG up to 8th place as well, from 18th on the grid. So MDG making a fantastic start, very important for his title aspirations. He is up in the top 3 in the drivers' standings. And another good result here could help him in his quest. So Red Dog, Jay Hartnell and Avalanche are into the pits for new nose cones, actually. They've had it coming together somewhere, so their races are effectively ruined unless a safety car was to be deployed later on. And someone else has gone off. It's one of the AlphaTauris. That'll be Noodles, who's gone round. Oh, don't hit the wall. As you rejoin there, I wonder if he's got damage to his front wing. Has he got damage? I think he may well have done. Wezo struggling to keep his car on the track at the moment. As Calvin, within DRS range, to think about a move on his teammate, both of which started the race on the soft compound tyres. With there being a good gap between themselves and Mano and Jaihu as Paranoid gets past Bruges, while keeping hold of 5th place ahead of Bruges. So the top 2 look set in stone at the moment in terms of where they are potentially going to end up finishing. It's just a matter of who's going to end up in the final podium position. So Jaihu in 4th place on the mediums, so we're expecting to go on a longer first stint than those on the softs. And Ruben must have exceeded track limits there as he got past the Williams of Bruges. And now MGG taking advantage of the open door, and he's going to get through on the inside at turn 3. And a brilliant pass there from the Haas, but the Williams is trying to fight back. MDG shuts the door in time, and he puts his Haas up into 7th position. And I think Scotty has dropped back from this lot. He must have had a spin somewhere, and he's down to 9th place. So Scotty not having a good race at the moment. He didn't make the best of starts. He dropped down to 5th at the end of lap 1. He's fallen down even further. There's your top 2 at the moment. And Calvin still not able to find a way past the Stig on lap 6. What about this battle here? Ruben, does he dive to the inside? Yes, he does. Contact made between the Aston Martin and the Williams, wheel to wheel as well. Right rear touching front left. MDG thinking about a move as well. And now we go back to the leaders here as they begin the 7th lap. Rear-wing open on Calvin's car. And he stays behind the Stig still. Now Mano's broken away from this long queue of cars as Jaihu gets past the Mercedes, as does Ruben. Brilliant move there, and Paranoid's just lost 2 positions as he didn't have the DRS, as he was ahead of all of them, and he wasn't behind a car within a second of it. MDG, does he go to the inside of Paranoid? No, he doesn't do so into turn 4. He waits behind once more. So he loses even more time. Jay Harden with a new fastest lap, 1 minute 34.5. He's currently in 16th place behind Red Dog. And now Calvin thinking about a move on the stick. Can't make the move stick at the moment. He maybe thought about having a go, but it would have been too far back to do it from there. Now Mano is 6 seconds behind Calvin. And Wezzo gets a penalty now for track limits. He's in 19th and last position. And now the drivers cross over the line to start lap number 8. I think Calvin's still going to be too far back. He is stuck in the turn of the sister Alpine. So Ruben, does he go for it with Jaihu? He doesn't do it from there. Oh, can he do it from there? Oh, you bet he can. But he's got a time penalty for track limits. So whilst that was a brilliant overtaking manoeuvre, it was too good to be true as he's picked up a penalty for exceeding track limits there. Oh, and Jaihu nearly got thrown into the wall there by MGG. I think that was accidental, but Jaihu will not like that one bit. That could have been an almighty accident. And as you can see, a battle for 10th place between Hamza, Sociopath and Yakanagel. And someone's gone off in sector 1. Is that Noodles again? That's the second time he's gone off there. And he's carried on as he is. Here's a battle for the lead, look. Calvin goes to the outside of the stick. Does he do it through there? He's got the inside line for 14. Contact made, wheel to wheel. Brilliant racing between these two. They want to keep it clean at this stage, and they do so. So Calvin takes the lead now from his teammate, but he's not going to have DRS on the start-finish straight, unlike the Stig. So the Stig may use that to his advantage and get back ahead of him here. You can see the turbulent air not doing the Stig any favours. But I think he's going to get back ahead of him with the DRS. So the Stig uses it now. Goes to the inside, and this is going to be a change of position again. So it's as you were a lap ago. The Stig leads, Calvin second. Mano's in third place, and MGG up to 5th now behind Ruben. So it's an Alpine 1 and 2, Aston Martin 3 and 4. As Jaihu thinks about an overtake on the Mercedes of Paranoid. Jaihu goes off track though. Completes the move right round the outside, does he? He'll have the inside line for 4. If he can pull this off. And he does do it. Bit of contact there, but nothing. Oh, Jurassic! Oh, they've hit the wall together! And the pair of them are out! They're both out of the race, and we've got a safety car. Neither of them gave each other enough room. I mean, to be fair, Paranoid did give Jaihu enough room on the inside, but he just didn't back out of it in time as they came towards the barrier. So Jaihu and Paranoid's race come to an end. And it brings out the first safety car of this Russian Grand Prix. Now, if you were the Stig and Calvin, do you pit both drivers on the same lap? I think you're going to have to, because you can see Wesley coming into the pits for a new front wing. The drivers need to adhere to the safety car delta. It's a very hard one to call who was at fault for the collision involving Jaihu and Paranoid. It could go down as a racing incident, but to be honest with you, I think Paranoid should have backed out of it sooner. I think Jaihu did enough to be entitled to space and to be left room to get both cars through the exit of turn 4 cleanly. Now this is we've had another connection issue again. Yep, it's happened again, folks. Totally out of my control. I do apologise for the technical difficulties. This is quite a common thing that's happened within this game itself over the last few weeks. And it's quite shocking, quite frankly. So once again, what you have seen, the scenes on the podium are not what you are meant to be seeing. I suppose conveniently, we are under safety car conditions, so we'll be as quick as we can to get back into the lobby and back in watching some racing that you are meant to be seeing. So we go, we're back in the action then. So through the pit stops then, the SIG has remained in the lead. His teammate had to step behind him, but has got out behind Matey Boy, who's yet to stop in this race. So in all fairness, Calvin may not have lost as much as people might think. So MTG has gone onto the hard tyres now, so he's going to be at a tyre disadvantage here. But we are only on lap 10, so don't think it'll be too long before the safety car does go back in. It will stay out there for one more lap. Wezo, who's in 17th position, will be able to catch up to the back of the pack and remain on the lead lap. So the Stig leads, Matey Boy second, Calvin third, Mano fourth, MDG fifth, Ruben sixth, Sotti seventh, Bruges eighth, Hamster ninth, Sociopath in the top 10. So the only driver yet to stop in this race is Matey Boy. I think Red Dog, is that Noodles going into the pits? It is. So I think Noodles is ducking into the pits so that he can get a set of medium tyres on. He's on the sauce. I think he's doing that so that it makes sure that he's actually been on at least 2 different dry compounds. He'll lose positions, but at least it'll save him potentially having to do another pit stop later on. So medium's going on, and now he goes. Might get out in front of the Red Bull of Ruin, but it's touch and go. No, Ruin will get ahead of him here. Oh, careful boys, don't make contact here. You are under the safety car. I mean, that was rather rude that from Ruin, actually. He knew the AlphaTauri was in the pits, so one of the stewards may have a word with him afterwards. So Noodles rejoins in 16th place. Virtually the whole field has caught up to the safety car now, so we should get back on the way at the end of this lap. We'll have 16 laps of action, provided we don't have any more safety cars or virtual safety cars. So 3 drivers out of the race so far. Paranoid, Jaihu and the Warrior have all crashed out. Paranoid and Jaihu's collision is the reason why we are under safety car conditions. But the safety car is going to be coming in at the end of this lap, I would think. And it is doing so. There you go, there's confirmation by race control. And so the Stig will slow the field down. MGG needs to make sure he doesn't overtake him, which he doesn't do. And when the Stig is ready, he'll pull clear. Calvin's first job will be to get in front of Matey Boy and pull away from him. He doesn't want to fall too far back from his teammate though, so Calvin's got it with it all to do if he is to win this race. And MDG's has got a time penalty now for a collision with Ruben, so that's 5 seconds for him. He may dispute that afterwards, but we're back on the way here in Sochi, and it's a good restart there from Sig. He's caught Matey Boy napping, and the Alpine of Calvin is pulling alongside the Haas. The Haas leaves him room, and watch out for the Aston Martin actually of Mano, who's going to go in between the pair of them. Down to turn 2 they go. And Mano gets up to second place. What a move! He braked later than the Alpine and the Haas. Has got himself up into second position. Calvin's fighting back though. Can he get through on the inside into turn 4? The answer is no. MTG does get in front of Matey Boy. And it looks like one of the Rebels has gone round. It's Ruin, who has spun at turn 2 but has rejoined. So excellent move there from Mano to get his Aston Martin up into second place. And they'll go through turn 8 and 9. Turn 10 is next up. That's another glitch there, apologies. Both drivers heading towards turns 13 and 14. Ruben gets in front of Matey Boy now, so Matey Boy very much beginning to struggle on the restart here. He knows he's on older tyres, but will need to try and bridge out the stint as long as he can for when he does come in for the soft compound. Here we go for the start of lap 3. I'll say that the start of lap 3 is the third lap of the restart. And now we can see some dicing going on between the Williams, McLaren, the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Hamster going to the inside. Can he break that later? The Williams is going to be contact, I think. Oh, there is, and the Hamster goes for a spin. No one else gets involved, but he's dropped back from all this. Oh, his car was ghosted there. Hamster rejoined unsafely there. The stewards will not like that. And Sociopath looking to get through on Scotty here, who's in 8th place right now. Some drivers do have penalties, unlike others, but even so, Scotty did not expect himself to be as low down as he is after qualifying on the front row. So Red Dog looking to hold off Yakanagel right now. So Calvin in the Alpine. He's not able to use the DRS yet. I think it's because this is the second lap of the restart, so DRS will be enabled at the end of this lap, of which Calvin will be able to use the DRS on the pit straight before they get to turn 2. DRS now enabled. Mano with a new fastest lap, but Calvin's going to be right behind him, waiting to pounce. DRS is open on the Alpine. Mano may need to go defensive here. Can Calvin get the job done here? Goes to the inside. Mano needs to leave him room, which he does so just. That was very nearly a collision. So Matey Boy has just been overtaken by Bruges and Scotty, so he pretty much is struggling now for grip. Sociopath looking to make his way through past the Haas. Avalanche comes into the pits, presumably for front wing repairs, and has fallen down to 17th position. Oh, someone's off in the background there. That was the AlphaTauri of Noodles. So that's the third time he's had an off through turn 4. He nearly clipped the barrier on the way out. So Calvin with the DRS open, closing in on Mano in the fight for second place. Now he's using the DRS, but not the ERS at the moment. The best place to overtake will be down to turn 2. Red Dog has got past Sociopath to go up to 9th place. Can he get through on the Haas of Matey Boy as well? The answer is yes. So Red Dog gets through. Nicely done. He runs wide though, and that could give the advantage to the Haas of Matey Boy to try and get back on Sociopath. But no, Red Dog's got the job done. He goes up to what is now 8th place. Sociopath passing Matey Boy as well, so I'd have thought Matey Boy will be ducking into the pits very soon. He doesn't do so this lap, so he'll be remaining out there for now. Here's Kelvin. He's closer this lap than he was last time around. He's going to go to the inside. Is this second place for the Alpine? The answer is yes. He shuts the door, leaves the Aston Martin enough room, and now he can go after race leader and teammate Stig. Someone's gone off in sector 1. What's happened? Is that... It's Ruben. in the Aston Martin who's gone round. So Ruben's gone for a spin and now is falling behind Red Dog. And I think he may have damage to his front wing, to be honest with you. He's struggling to get the car through turn 3 properly. So that may well be him off into the pits shortly. He's got a time penalty now for track limits, just to add insult to injury. And Mano all over the back of Calvin as these two fight over second place. Rear wing open on the Aston Martin as he closes back in. Calvin, I don't think he's going to defend this one. He's got no power to defend it. Mano gets back through into second place again. That's how effective the DRS can be. Calvin doesn't have his... Ooh, and Calvin nearly ran into the back of the Aston Martin at turn 14. As Sociopath gets past Red Dog into what is now 7th place, where Red Dog spins contact. Now he rejoins. Hamster will go through ahead of him. But Red Dog has lost 7 positions through all that. And I think Matey Boy is going to be coming into the pits now for his mandatory pit stop. Gets the car slowed down in time. And Calvin back through into second place. So Calvin needs to start pulling away from the Aston Martin now. Otherwise, he's going to end up dicing with him lap by lap and not actually closing in on his teammate. There's Ruin in 14th. So Matey Boy rejoins in 17th and last position now, but he's on the soft compound tyre, so he may fight his way through the field, but he's going to have to hope for a safety car. Someone's gone off in sector 1. It's the AlphaTauri of Noodles. That's the 4th time he has spun at that corner in this race. I don't know what it is with him today, if I'm honest with you. So MDG's in 4th position now in the Haas. He's out of DRS range. He's got 10 seconds worth of time penalty though. As you watch Calvin and Mano swap positions yet again. So Calvin is just going to have to really fight it here for second place. He wants it. Oh, he's got it into turn 15. That was audacious. Leaves him enough room. And Mano gets back through again. Now, Calvin catching Stadio by surprise as the Stig posts another new fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 34.4. Calvin's going to get through into second place here. To the outside, and that's a slam dump manoeuvre for him. So Calvin through, no problem at all. And where's that going off track again? He'll most certainly get a warning for that. I think Matey Boy, with where he is, he could well set the new fastest lap of the race. He's 3 seconds adrift of Avalanche, so we'll wait and see what he can do from there. Mano now gets a time penalty, so that's good news for Calvin in the fight for second place. But Mano wants to get on with it here, and he goes past the Alpine once more. Hamster gets a penalty as well for track limits. What can Bruges do with Scotty here? Scotty's in 5th place on the road, which could be 4th by the end of this race because of MDG's time penalty of 10 seconds. Now, he may get 5 seconds of that removed because of the collisions under the safety car. So Calvin looking to get back into second place. As the two drivers go through the kink of turn 1. Here we go, look, into the slipstream, and Calvin is going to pull alongside. Is this going to be another change for second position? To the inside he goes. He's still there as Mano. They're going to go side by side through turn 3. And it looks like Mano remains ahead of it for now, but Calvin's still stuck in there. But he has to leave him enough room. There's no way he'll get the job done through turn 4. So he remains behind him for now. So Matey Boy with new fastest out, 134.4 for him. So he takes that away from the Stig. His lap time was 0.07 of a second faster than the Stig. So we're at 2/3 race distance then. The Stig 4.5 seconds clear of Mano, with the Stig still tussling over second place with him on the road. As it stands, the Stig was taking victory with Kelvin second and Mano third. Now Mano trying to hold his line through 16. Kelvin will be within DRS range. This should be a slam dunk manoeuvre, if I'm honest with you, Kelvin, but the trouble is, he's actually pulling away from the Aston Martin by over a second and avoiding being in DRS range of being overtaken. Here we go. Kelvin is going to go to the inside this time. This has been a friendly tussle between these two, keeping it clean throughout. And Kelvin is going to go through into second place, is he? Not quite, because Mano's there on the inside through 3. And Kelvin decides not to go for it at turn 4 and stays behind. Now Matey Boy, for penalties to his name, will finish ahead of Avalanche as it stands. 9 laps to go in this now. Rear wing open on Kelvin's car. And no change of position at the moment. Can he do so a few laps ago and surprise Mano a little bit? Not through 15. Here we go, and Avalanche has gone for a spin on the exit of turn 10. He's not out of the race, so he'll still continue from there, hopefully without damage. But Kelvin is looking to get the move completed on Mano into turn 2, and that's him through into second. And Avalanche has got damage to his front wing, so I think at this stage of the race it could be a retirement for him. Wezo into the pits for Red Bull. And he's got front wing damage, so that's probably why he's come into the pits. So Matey Boy goes up to 15th place. He's got 13 seconds to make up on Noodles at the moment. And Jai here has lost connection, actually. But he's already out of the race anyway, so Avalanche is also out. So we're down to 16. Mano gets on the inside of Kelvin. Does he make the move stick? No contact made between the two drivers. There is there banging of wheels. Nothing too reckless between both drivers. Clearly respecting each other throughout this one. And clean overtaking there from Kelvin to go up into second position now. He needs to try and pull away though. Otherwise Mano's just going to keep having the DRS and overtaking him. Now Mano's going to be too far back this time, which is good news for Kelvin because he can now start to pull away. And Noodles has passed Red Dog as well. And Red Dog into the pits. I wonder if he's got damage to his AlphaTauri. He may decide to call it a day as well. Or is he actually putting a set of soft tyres on and try and go for a fastest lap or something? So the Sig, 7 laps away from victory. It's been a compelling performance as Wezo enters the pits and he's out of the race. Or is he actually crashed out? I think he's crashed out, you know. And he's brought out the virtual safety car. And now a safety car. We could be in for a thrilling sprint to the end of this race here. How many drivers are willing to come in and put a set of soft compound tyres on? I think the Stig is going to have to come in. He's got a big enough lead, but the trouble is, will he have to wait for other drivers to come in here? No, he's staying out. The Stig has decided to stay out. His teammate's coming in though. Mano decides to not do it. MDG's most certainly coming in because he's on the hard tyres at the moment, so he'll want to get some soft tyres put on. Scotty remains out there, as does Bruges. Ruben stays out there. Sociopath coming in. Yakanagel. Ruben and Jay Hartnell. Are they coming in? Jay Hartnell decides not to. I think if you're at the back of the field, I think you may as well come in and get a set of soft tyres on. Matey Boy will most certainly be doing the same. So Red Dog in 15th place. Will he making his way into the pits for maybe for another set of soft spots, or will he wait until the field is caught up to each other and then put a set of the soft compound tyres on? He'll move in front of Matey Boy. Will he get in front of Noodles and Hamster maybe? No, they're already exiting the pits now, so Red Dog will stay behind them. So your top 10 are Stig, Mano, Scotty, Bruges, Ruben and Jay Hartnell, who did not pit in for tyres. The highest of those that did are Calvin, MDG, Sociopath and Yakanagel. I think the safety car will remain out there for another lap. So potentially a 4-lap shootout to the end of this one. And is that Jay Hartnell coming into the pits? It is. So Hartnell decides that being on the hard tyres, old hard tyres, are not the tyres to be on for him. And is there anyone else coming into the pits with him? I don't think so. Matey Boy will be coming round. Hartnell's caught up to the back of the pack now, as has Matey Boy. So the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap, no question. Who's your money on for the race victory then? Let us know in the live chat. So the safety car will be coming in at the end of this lap. this is going to make for a really tasty finish to this Grand Prix now. It really, really is. And I'm praying we do not have any connection issues throughout the remainder of this. Calvin's in 6th place. He's got a good chance of getting the victory here, providing he keeps his car clean and gets through the pack without an issue. So the Stig leads, and then Mano, and then Scotty, and then Bruges, and then Ruben. Calvin, the first of those that have pitted under the safety car, in 6th place. Here we go then. The Stig leads the field on the restart. And we're back on the way. And it looks like someone may have had an incident. I think Mateboy just had a bit of a moment. It's continued. We're back on the way then. Now what's happening further behind? Because we've got drivers on fresher tyres than others. Bruges making a move. You can see Calvin. Oh, contact! Calvin has surely got damage to his car. Not sure if he has. But he's lost the position to MDG, who's picked up another penalty for track limits. And Ruben's done the same as well. Now Calvin needs to be careful here. It does not get his front wing chopped off through all this. MDG dive into the inside there. He gets through on the Aston Martin. Calvin needs to do the same. He's losing time behind as they go through turn 9. That's not a place where you should do an overtake, but he's going to go to the outside here. I'm surprised he's done that through there. Oh, it was a bit naughty that from Ruben. Should have left maybe a little bit more room. And now the Mercedes of Sociopath is getting involved as they go almost 3 abreast through the kink of 12. And now, who's going to break the later into 13? It's going to be Calvin. Can he pull off this move? Yes, he can. Excellent overtake there from Calvin. Gets up into 6th position. MDG's got past Scotty and Bruges and all this as well. So, bearing in mind, MDG does have an 8-second time penalty. So there's no way I can imagine he'll win this race, but he'll do what he can. 3 laps to go then. MGG with a new fastest lap as Calvin looks to get the move done on Bruges before they get to the kink of 1. They go side by side, and Calvin gets through. Now Jaiho may decide to fight back here, but he doesn't stand a chance. And Ruin's out of the race. He's crashed out, I think, on the start-finish straight, and his race is over. So both Red Bulls out of the race with just a few laps remaining. So Calvin, his next job is to get in front of Scotty here. Can he do it into turn 7? I don't think he can. There's no way he'll do it into 8 either. So maybe turn 10 if he gets a good drive coming out of 8 and 9. Not through here. And we'll go further up front because MGG's right behind Mano, but he's dropped back a little bit from him. We'll go back to Calvin because he's about to complete an overtake, I think, on Scotty as they go through turn 13. Almost contact there, but no contact was actually made. Calvin may be able to do the switchback and get through on the McLaren side by side. And Calvin gets through up into 4th. Nice move into turn 15. So Calvin up into the top 4. Now he can go after MGG again, who's right behind Mano, who the top 3 are about to start the penultimate lap now. So DRS is now enabled. MDG with a new fastest lap. Jakob Nagel's gone for a spin. He falls well out of the top 10. So that's a shame for him. And Jay Hartnell's gone for a spin likewise. So not a good corner or so for the Alfa Romeo team. Now Calvin needs to pull away from these guys, so he's out of DRS range from them. He can do that through the next few corners whilst we watch the top 3 fight over the race victory potentially. As it stands, the Stig would take victory with Mano and MDG potentially dropping back from all this. Mano has got a 3-second time penalty. MDG has got 8. And look at this. Mano and MDG going side by side through 6 and 7. No change of position there yet. Now Mano's going to have DRS, I think, surely, as well as MDG. So Mano is going to need to defend hard here. And he does so with the DRS, so That's not quite good news for Calvin, actually, as he's trying to close in on these guys as they go through the kinks. So we are about to start the final lap of this race now. The Stig looking very good for the victory. Calvin, as it stands, would still finish in second position. Now, can MDG get through here on the Aston Martin to turn 17? We haven't seen an overtake through here yet. We could have done that. MDG didn't quite get the job done. And now we do start the final lap. And Calvin with a new fastest lap. MDG with the DRS is going to pull off an overtake here. I don't think Mano's going to stand a chance here of holding back. So MDG gets through and up into second place on the road. The Aston Martin's still there, but MDG has got the job done. He's more than a car's length in front. And now he's picked up another penalty for track limit, so this is going to drop back quite considerably here for MDG. Could even fall out of the top 10 if he's unlucky. Ruben's most certainly going to fall out of the top 10. But we are on the last lap. MDG's got to within a second now of the Stig. Now, can Calvin get in front of Mano? The answer is no, so he'll still finish second in this race, no question, provided he does not make any more mistakes. Now, MDG's still closing in on the Stig. This is the last DRS zone that they'll be using in this race now, so the Stig is well clear. Started on pole position after a wet qualifying session. A couple of safety cars. Even that hasn't deprived him of victory. He's going to lead MDG over the line. So the Stig entering the last turn to win the Russian Grand Prix in the CDR and C1. The Stig has done it. Calvin comes home in what should be second place, but Mano is shown in second, so it's a 1-3 for Alpine instead of a 1-2. Mano finishes second. I think Calvin may have got penalised on the last lap. So Scotty comes home 4th, Bruges 5th, Sociopath 6th, MDG drops down to 7th ahead of Hamster and Red Dog. Jay Hartnell in 10th, Matey by 11th, Yakanagel 12th, Ruben 13th, and Noodles the last of the finishers in 14th place. But it's the Stig on debut, winning in the C1 category in the CDR. Congratulations. So here's your race result then at the end of a brilliant Russian Grand Prix. The Stig wins ahead of Mano in second. Calvin did get a penalty on the last lap, hence why he only finished third. Scotty 4th ahead of Bruges, and it's Sociopath and MTG who dropped to 7th with that 14-second time penalty, or 11 seconds I should say. Hamster was 8th, Red Dog 9th, and Jay Hartnell running out the top 10. Matey Boy was 11th ahead of Yakanagel, who were disappointed with that. Ruben was 13th ahead of Noodles, the last of the finishers. Ruin, Wezo, Avalanche, Paranoid, Jaihu, and the Warrior all retired from the race. Well, with those points, I'm just trying to check to see how many points the likes of Scotty would get. I mean, Scotty extends his lead at the top of the championship, no question. I'm just trying to see how many points he would get for finishing in 4th place. 4th place gets you 13 points. So, in terms of how that affects things, 13 points for Scotty moves him on to 89 points. MDG's 7th place in the race. I believe it was 7th. Excuse me one moment. Yeah, it was 7th place finish for MDG, which is enough to give him 9 points. And with that, he now moves up to second in the championship. So the gap at the top is 15 points between Scotty and MDG. Just trying to see who got the fastest up of the race, actually, because I didn't quite pick up on that. It was Calvin who got that. but he's not in the championship race at the moment. Well, that's all for today, folks. Hope you enjoyed that. We do apologise for the connection issues we had earlier on, but we got back in time and we saw a lot of the action that we were looking for. The next round of the championship will be, as yet to be confirmed, because there's a TBC for the next round of the championship. So we'll let you know in good time as to where it'll be in the Discord if you're involved. I can't wait to do it again at 8:30 PM British Summer Time on Friday, the 1st of October. I'm Tom Cairns, and I'll speak to you again soon when the CDR returns.